G'day, AJ.
This is my doom face.
It's your metal face, is it?
That's my doom metal face.
Right. Okay. Well, hey,
G'day, Mo.
G'day. Well, it's a bit of foreshadowing. I mean, and hey, we've got to remember that there's listeners who are just listening.
That is true. There's just like, why is there silence? And then all of a sudden, this guy's saying he's got a doom face.
Doom face on. You'll just have to use your imagination, or if you want to know what Drum Chucks looks like,
Jump on our YouTube. Watch us on YouTube.
Get on the YouTubes. Yeah, even on the shorts, you'll get a quick snippet. I'm not sure if you'll find doom metal face.
No.
Although doom metal is a genre of its own. I'm not sure this is within that genre, but doom and metal, if we separate them, they kind of go hand in hand, but are not interconnected as doom metal is. But anyway, I digress.
But these were the pioneer. This band was the pioneers of it.
Of all of it. Of a lot of it. Yep, fair enough. So this is some nice foreshadowing.
The Prince of Darkness.
The Prince of Darkness. Well, let me welcome the listeners.
Oh, yes.
Welcome to another episode of Songs on the Couch.
Sitting down, we're talking out, breaking it down, songs on the couch. Music and minds, we'll figure it out, laughing and learning what it's all about. On the couch.
Here we are.
Mm.
And tell me, AJ, we've given the people a taste. So let's let the cat out of the bag. What song are we bringing on over to the couch today?
Well, I thought we'd pay homage to someone who's just recently passed away.
A legend, an
a
icon.
legend. Yep, a legend. A legend, not just for his music, but also for a lot of other things outside music, as we all know. Mr. Ozzy Osbourne, his first band, Black Sabbath, with Paranoid.
Oh, here we are. Quite fitting, a nice homage to a legend that I don't know that much about, except for the kind of early 2000s popular culture, reality TV, the Osbournes, the kind of doddery old Aussie who I have absolutely no doubt had a whole full life, a whole full metal life before that. But
look, all I'll say is cocaine's a hell of a drug. That's all I'm going to say. Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Cocaine's a hell. Apparently, it is. It has some long-term use has some implications.
Yeah.
As we saw with Ozzy, a little bit of a decline in motor function.
Well, look, at the end, it was actually it was Parkinson's disease that got him.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
And I wonder if there is any research into the association of cocaine use and neurodegenerative diseases. I'm not sure. Yeah. Look, some of the scientists among us could get into correction corner and let us know. But for now it's speculation.
That's it.
Yeah. So, Paranoid.
Which is a shame. He was. Well, they called him the Prince of Darkness, the Prince of Metal. He was the one that. Well, Black Sabbath were the one that kind of started that whole doom, heavy. It was a mixture of a lot of stuff. They weren't actually just a heavy metal band. Some songs were bluesy, some were ballady. And so, but their most popular, the songs that everyone knows, like Iron Man and Paranoid and
their most popular
War Pigs.
Popular iteration was really metal based.
Doom metal based, yeah.
Yes, guitar driven,
slow, heavy.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Right. So that's.
But if you actually listen to their whole albums, there's so many different. They're actually like lots of different genres. Like I listened to just the other week, I was like, oh, I haven't probably given like their full albums a listen apart from their greatest hits, and it is like some of their songs, like, oh, there's a blues song in here. Like, okay, so it's not all just metal and.
Where did that little nugget pop out
Yeah,
from?
yeah. So I think that's cool. But it's funny how they get put in,
Sort of the
those
metal
popular songs.
box.
Yeah, but I'd say they're all.
Yeah.
I'd say they're all. Obviously, when Ozzy left Black Sabbath and he did his own solo stuff, that was more a lot of the metal stuff. But then once again, if you listen to a lot of his '90s stuff, there are some not pop, but like ballady rock, more rock ballad songs, and
Right.
we just know him as Crazy Train,
Right. So Ozzy and Black Sabbath span some genres.
They do, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So what's our interesting tidbits about Black Sabbath, Ozzy, this song? Is it time to introduce the interesting tidbits?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so.
Interesting
Let's do it.
tidbits. That tune changes
Nice.
every time, and
It does.
I
But you know what? That keeps the listeners coming back because they're like, I wonder if they're going to keep that interesting tidbits theme song the same, or if they're going to change it up. So
right. Which key is it going to be in today?
that's right. Is it going to be in key or out of key?
Right.
Who knows?
and if it's from me, probably out of key, but I'll give it a go.
That's right.
I give it a
100%.
go. You got to be in it to win it.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
obviously, okay, so let's start with the humble beginnings of 1968.
And I tell
Birmingham,
you,
England.
we weren't even a twinkle in our father's
No.
eyes.
Nope.
1968.
No.
I mean,
But,
can we
but when you
just-
think of like bands that came out in 1968, it was more like that mod rock.
Yes.
Well, not so much in England, but mod rock England, like, you had like Beatles still going, Moody Blues, like all those mod rocker bands. In America, you had obviously the surf and the psychedelic. So heavy metal, I guess. Oh, the Kinks, they were, You Really Got Me. That was probably one
was
of the
in-
first
not
distorted.
quite. Was it distorted but not quite metal? Inching
It
closer.
It was. I guess for the time it was like raunchy, like not raunchy, but it was like, oh, that's heavy for like no band was like to get that sound. They were literally stabbing knives into the speaker to break up that speaker, like to get the most grittiest sound they could get is just by destroying equipment. So
It was innovative times.
it was. So. So it's actually So when they think, oh yeah, they're the godfathers of that genre. Well, yeah, because at that time no one else was doing heavy stuff, or we'll say blending blues rocks with like darker lyrical themes and gloomy distorted soundscapes. So it's the heaviest side of blues rock, I guess.
Right. But born in Birmingham, England in 1968.
Yeah. Well, the most other popular band that came out of Birmingham, England was ELO. And they're definitely not. And if you don't, Electric Light Orchestra,
Yeah.
for those who don't know who ELO is.
ELO, was it Don't Bring Me Down?
Don't Bring Me Down is probably their most famous
Don't
song.
Bring Me Down. That one?
Yeah. So it's big contrast.
Big contrast. Okay.
And they were originally called Earth. So can you imagine like Earth is more like the psychedelic mod rock,
Isn't it?
genre. It's like, we're Earth.
Oh, that's cute.
That's
Isn't
cute.
it? That's cute. But yes, no, the genre of music did not match the name. The product did not match the pack shot. And
No.
so changes were afoot.
Black Sabbath, which was named after a horror movie. Couldn't get more darker than that.
That is yes, the birthplace of any Prince of Darkness is a horror film.
Yeah. Well, they changed it after seeing, a movie, a 1963 horror film called Black Sabbath. And, what the best way to, create something is by ripping it off someone else, like, oh yeah, we like that. We'll take that. Thank you.
There's no original ideas. They're all just respun.
Nah. So they thought people pay money to get scared. why not make scary music?
Oh, wow. Yeah, okay. I see the correlation. I see
Yeah.
you, Black Sabbath. I
Yeah.
see you.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Okay.
So it came out in 1970 on their second album titled, it's self-titled Paranoid. So they used the title track as the title album as their track. Title track as their
Well,
album?
the title track is the album name.
Yeah. Yeah. Although it was
Yeah.
it wasn't their actual title track. It wasn't the first track on the album.
Okay.
I think it was
So it
second or
is
third.
one of the tracks as
One
an
of the
album name,
tracks as the album name.
which is often the case, isn't it?
It is often the case. Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
So obviously we got Ozzy, Tommy Iommi, who plays guitar,
Yeah. And
left-handed guitarist.
I've got a confession about Tommy Iommi.
Oh yes.
Yeah. So my husband bought me the Tommy Iommi biography
Oh,
in
yeah.
about, I don't know when that came out, but it's sat on my bookshelf unread for about 10 years. Sorry,
Yeah, right.
Tommy. Sorry, Tommy. I'll get to it eventually. Well,
was it one of those presents where you're like, thanks, and in the mind you're like, why did he?
No,
do that?
well,
Oh.
actually, props to. We haven't given him a nickname yet.
No.
He's a drum chucks too. I mean,
He is
he's
a
a
drum
drummer.
chucks.
He's drummy. Well, actually, his best friend calls him Mud, so we'll call him Mud.
Oh, Mud. There we go. Yeah. Mud.
We'll call him Mud. So yes, Mud. Actually, props to him. He knows my taste. I do love an autobiography and a biography.
Okay,
Doesn't matter who it is. But I
Right.
think at that time that he purchased that book for me, I think I was deep in psychological theory after
Yeah.
returning to university to do my training
Right.
after I'd had children. So there was no room for you, Tommy. I'm sorry,
No.
Tommy. There was no room for you. It was all about Freud. It
Yep.
was all about Lacan. It was all about the biopsychosocial model. It was all about statistics. And had I read that, I might have been a little bit better prepared for this episode. So,
Hold on. Are you telling me that you still haven't read the book?
I still haven't read the book. I still haven't read the book. It's still sitting on my
Okay.
bookshelf. I have
Do you think
read.
this is a sign that you need to now start reading the book?
I probably do, but I have read many psychological texts between now and then,
Yeah.
and that's contributing to this episode. So, can I get off the hook? Am I off the
Okay.
hook?
Yeah. Look, yeah. I'm sure you're going to talk about paranoia. I'm sure you're going to be talking about paranoia
Yeah.
in this episode. So if it wasn't for not reading Tommy's book, we would. It's a bit of a snake eating its own tail type of
Kind of
scenario
thing.
here.
Yeah. It's a full circle moment. I didn't
It
have
is.
to read Tommy to get here, actually.
Well, I'll give you some interesting tidbits about Tommy. So,
Please do.
if you get to this part of the book, you can kind of skip it because you're like, I already know this.
Okay, great.
I
Go
know
ahead.
this. So, did you know that Tommy actually has prosthetic fingers?
Prosthetic fingers. What do
Yeah.
you mean?
So he wears prosthetic fingertips on two of his fingers on his right hand because he's left-handed. So he plays.
So he's playing the neck
his right
of the
hand
guit-
guitar with his right hand.
Oh, with his
So-
right hand.
With his right hand, yeah.
Okay.
So in a factory accident, he chopped off the tips of two of his fingers, and then he made his own prosthetic fingertips out of plastic so he could keep playing.
I mean, you can pay a guy for that. It's called
Yeah, but-
orthotics.
Yeah, but back in the 60s, early 70s, he was like, I probably don't have the money and I can just make my own fingertips and it works.
Surely they had.
And it
Surely-
worked because he still played guitar. Like all he had to
did
do.
work.
Well, and so to make it easier for him to play, he tuned the guitar. So that's why we get that doomy sound because he tuned the guitar down, not in your standard key. So the strings were a lot looser and easier to bend.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So it worked for him, but
It worked for him, yeah.
surely the guys that make fake legs could have made fake fingers.
Fingertips, maybe.
Fingertips.
Yeah.
I mean, surely. Well, look, it was custom made. He managed to custom make it for
Do it
himself. But
Yeah. So next time you watch a Black Sabbath film clip or watch Tommy Iommi, look at his fingers and you'll see like little, like they probably only go like to about his knuckle, and it's like a little like finger sock almost, but like plastic skin-coloured finger sock type thing.
Wow. Okay. Well, not only a exemplary metal guitarist, but also a DIY prosthesist.
Prosthesis, that's it. I thought, I don't have the money. I want to still play guitar. What's around the house that I can make?
Right. Look, there's more money in guitar in a famous band than there is in prosthetics, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, yeah. And I wonder, though, if he actually, like, once he got money, if he then paid to get proper prosthetics, or he's just still got the ones from, like, 50, 60 years ago.
He had the skills, so he probably
got so used to playing with those fingertips. He's like, I'll just keep them.
I'm interested in the factory accident. Was he working on a production line? Like, how did he?
I need the backstory, goddammit.
I need the backstory to the finger loss, the amputation.
I would probably say like using like a saw or something. Like it'd have to be like a bandsaw or a drop saw or like a.
We'll have to get into
table
Correction
saw.
Corner for that one. We'll do a bit more research,
Yeah.
but yeah, some kind of, or it could have
Or
been
maybe-
crushed.
Yeah, I was about to say like if you're working in metal work, like cutting metal, bending metal, got it crushed.
Or like between machinery that was meant to put pressure on things,
Yeah.
or
But it's only 2 fingers, so if that was that case, it would be his whole hand. So I reckon he's sliced them off doing, kind of like that motion where those 2 fingers.
not the
Because it's
money
these
makers.
fingers.
Can you imagine? Could you imagine my money makers? No. Yeah, I mean, I'm shit scared of getting dementia, right? Because my brain's my money maker.
Well, that's it. That's it.
Yeah, right. Okay, well, that must have been shocking, jarring. He must have experienced a little bit of grief and loss about that. But necessity is the mother of invention, is it not?
Well, that's it. That's it.
So
That's
there
true.
he goes.
And he made it work. So
He
there
made
you
it
go.
work. And you know what? If his career in music as a guitarist didn't take off, there was also prosthetics.
Aesthetics. That's it.
Could have moved into that.
It's like backyard tattooing. I'll just give you a backyard prosthetic, mate. Like, what do you need, an arm and a leg? Yeah, I'll just whip one up in the shed.
And it might cost you an arm and a leg, but boom, boom.
Boom, boom.
I'm here all week. Try the veal.
I was about to say that.
Yeah, okay, right. So, Tommy,
I feel like it should be like, go, number 32, your steak is ready.
That's right. Ding, 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 ding.
Ding, ding.
Coming from the kitchen.
Yeah. So, bass
carry
player.
on.
Yeah, so bass player Geezer Butler, he was the lyricist for the band. And
Right, so
Ozzy
he wrote
was,
all of the profound words, hey?
well, yeah, apparently he was also an occult dabbler. So that's probably why we get those,
Geezer
lyrics.
was
and his-
into the dark arts.
the dark arts. Interest in his occult and religion influenced many of their darker themes. He once claimed to have seen a ghostly black figure at the end of his bed after experimenting with occult books.
Are you sure he wasn't experimenting with some
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
some illicit substances?
I don't know. No, you know what? I honestly think Ozzy
We
was
weren't there, but
we weren't there. But I think from what we've seen in media and TV, and I think our lead singer was the only one that dabbled. Publicly maybe publicly dabbled and publicly shown the world. Of
yeah. He's the one that got the most camera time, right?
He was,
the most
that's
face
right.
time.
This is true.
And so he probably, I'm sure that there was some things going on behind the scenes
Well,
that
that's right.
we weren't exposed to, because
No.
the lead singer is always the spokesperson.
That's right. The front man, as they say.
The front man, that's right. So yes,
Yeah.
we did get some exposure to Ozzy and cocaine being a hell of a drug.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like we need to tell the listeners why we're doing cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Oh, carry on. You tell. I didn't know before we started the episode.
Oh, really?
So, yeah.
So, if anyone knows, or if you remember watching Dave Chappelle and the Dave Chappelle Show, he used to do like skit biographies. His most famous one is Prince and Rick James. And Rick James is a funk bass player, Super Freak was his most,
Super
Super
Freak.
Freak, Super
Super
Freak,
Freak.
yeah.
I remember.
Yeah, and he was another a hard party person. Hard party person,
Right.
yeah.
A hard part. So
He used to
dabbled. He dabbled in
dabbled.
illicit substances.
Yeah.
There was some dabbling done.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
Okay. Yeah.
so during the skit, the Dave Chappelle skit, they actually get Rick James on, and they're like asking him if that really happened, and he's like, I don't know, man. Cocaine's a hell of a drug. It's like and so it was true. Like what Dave Chappelle was portraying as a skit biography, Rick James was actually there saying, yeah, it was
Confirmed
real.
it.
But
He confirmed it.
But at the same time,
Don't remember it.
and don't blame me. Blame the cocaine,
Right. Let's just relinquish control to
That's it.
the drug affected state that I was in at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Okay, so cocaine is a hell of a drug. Was for Rick James
Was for Rick James and for
and
Mr. Osborne.
potentially Mr. Ozzy Osbourne. This is documented fact, right? We're not
That's
we're
right.
not
No.
speculating. It's come out in the media about his drug use and what was going on for him. This is yes. So
You can even watch old interviews of him like from the 70s and 80s, and you can just tell that he's not 100% with it.
Right. Okay. But he has admitted to taking drugs.
Oh, yeah.
So Sharon, get the lawyer's office. All right. We don't stand down. He admitted it himself.
That's it. Yeah.
Okay. So, but actually, in doing the research for this episode, I did watch the film clip a few times.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't think the drugs had taken hold by the time Paranoid came out. He was
quite clean.
Yeah, he was looking fresh-faced and young and kind of, together. Starting to embody the traits of the Prince of Darkness, throughout this tight, twitchy, 3 odd minutes.
It was actually a year later. So it was 1971 when he was first introduced to cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Right.
So,
right.
that's probably why you're looking at the paranoia thing. Oh, he actually looks quite normal. Well, yeah, because he hadn't dabbled just yet.
Dabbled, yes. And like I said, the scientists among us could get into the comments and let us know any association between drug use and cocaine use and neurodegenerative disorders or neuropathic, I suppose what we call it, neuropathic like difficulties or difficulties with brain function that are associated with long-term high dose cocaine use. Not sure. Someone get in the comments, but maybe there's a correlation there. I'm not sure.
Well, that's it.
Yeah.
Now, I got another interesting tidbit, which is also...
Go ahead.
Did it really happen? It's one of those... Okay, everyone knows of the situation, but did it really happen?
Tell
me. We all know that apparently Mr. Osbourne bit a bat's head off.
Well...
At a concert.
I think it's true because when he died, I read it in the ABC... I read the kind of overview, and I'm pretty sure that the ABC, which is the Australian Broadcasting Corporation,
it was,
fact checked, and I'm pretty sure he did do that. But I think he thought it was a rubber bat. I don't think he thought it was a real bat.
Wow. In 1981, during a meeting with CBS executives, Ozzy pulled out a white dove and bit his head off, and then spat it on the table, which was meant to be a peace gesture, but it wasn't.
No, it's quite the opposite, really.
So the bat wasn't the first. He bit a dove before the bat.
So he is renowned.
He thought he'd try some white meat before dark.
Yes. Yes, he did.
Dove, not for me. Let's go the bat.
Let's go the bat. Some white meat before the dark meat. That's a good one. So he is a renowned flying animal decapitator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this,
Wow.
so like
Fancy
once again,
that being your life's legacy. No disrespect, Ozzy, but
right?
you know.
But what about the jaw and the teeth power? You must have to bite a head off an animal. Like I can't. Can you just imagine? Like, yeah.
Yeah. So maybe that was cocaine fueled. I mean,
Maybe,
it does give you a bit more strength, apparently, or a bit more.
Yeah.
It lowers your inhibitions, you know, and
It does. And it can give you some, once again, speculate some superhuman powers.
yeah.
I'm not saying if you want superhuman powers. go take some cocaine.
And I'm not sure it would be ethical to do a randomized controlled trial about that. Like, hey, come in. We'll just.
Do you want to be the Incredible Hulk for a couple of hours? Come on in.
Come on in. We'll just recruit some participants, some everyday citizens. Screen them for a few health things. Make sure that they're healthy enough to take cocaine.
Get some doves. Get some bats.
Some doves and bats. I think the ethics on that one are, pretty. You wouldn't be able to move beyond the ethics.
Well, and I think RSPCA would be too happy with us either.
Yes, no. I think the animal rights activists would really poo-poo that for science.
100%.
So we just have to stick to the anecdotal evidence.
Yes.
And we can find the anecdotal evidence in rock stars like Ozzy that cocaine equals lowered inhibitions equals
out of control actions.
Right, which requires some superhuman strength.
Yeah. Look, famous musicians are either throwing TVs out of a hotel window or they're biting animals' heads off. Like,
so we've got several anecdotes of superhuman strength with drug-fueled superhuman strength.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Or even alcohol-fueled.
So it doesn't quite meet the scientific method of randomized control trials and controlling for every variable, but the anecdotal evidence is there. Okay,
that's
all
right.
right.
The historical evidence is there to show us what happened. Yeah.
Yeah, that cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug. Yeah. But did you know that Ozzy didn't know what this song meant? He didn't know what paranoid meant. And
didn't he? Oh, because the bassist wrote the lyrics.
Well, yes, but he was also like illiterate up until later in life. So famously admitted he didn't know what the word meant when he first sang it. He just wrote, like, Geezer just wrote the lyrics and Ozzy just performed it. So he didn't know, like, maybe he needed to listen to our, bit late for the pod, a bit late, but he didn't know what paranoia, like, I guess back then paranoia wasn't a widely talked about topic.
Yeah,
that everyone goes, oh, I know, I'm being paranoid about something, or I know what paranoia is.
Yeah, I don't think in 1960s, 1970s Birmingham that mental health was on people's minds. I don't know that.
They were very working class, and it was like, get up, go to work, come home.
Yeah, I don't know that they had much of an understanding of what was happening. Psychologically inside people. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's funny, like, thinking about it, this song does make you feel a bit paranoid because it's all verses. There's no chorus, there's no bridge. It's just a riff and vocal lines. Yeah,
that's
I didn't
true.
think there's no chorus. So as an avid listener, you're probably going, okay, but where's the chorus? Where's the bridge?
feels like a feedback loop. Yeah. Like you kind of circle in the drain, waiting to
come on. Like, am I being paranoid? Hold on, didn't I just listen to this line? Like, yeah, I think it's really it's funny that I've just had the light bulb moment while we're doing this podcast, even though I've heard this song millions of times. But it's funny when you start really thinking about it and deep diving it, you're like, oh, actually.
Yeah.
It's funny.
There's a lot here.
There's a lot. See, listeners, it's not just it's funny. We all just like to put a song on and listen to it, but until you really get to the crux of it, you have light bulb moments like this.
Right. Don't take it at face value. No. You got to dig a little deeper.
Just dig, yeah.
So shall we start then? Or is there
Shall-
more interesting tidbits?
I think, you know what? I think we've given the listeners enough to.
Have we?
I think we've tidbitted them out.
Although I do want to say, if if Ozzy wasn't that, if his level of education meant that he didn't quite know what it meant, was he illiterate? Could he not read and write, or was it that he just maybe didn't have enough education to kind of understand what this concept meant?
Well,
What's
look,
the
I don't know.
What's the stats on that?
Look, I honestly haven't read Ozzy's biography of growing up, but I know that just in he admitted that he couldn't read or write properly growing up. So I don't know if that's just a poor education. He only learned later in life. And I guess the only way he learned is by writing lyrics down.
Ah, okay. Yeah, or so maybe the lyrical process helped him develop literacy. Who knows?
Well, yeah. Like imagine writing genre-defining vocals without being able to write lyrics down. I can't write lyrics to save my life. So I think that's amazing that, he's come up with all these, especially like his solo stuff. Like that's all his lyrics.
That's all his lyrics, right? So in Black Sabbath, I was going to say, although was it the bass player was the lyricist, but later on, the later Ozzy, did he write? I mean, I guess.
Yeah. Well, his solo stuff. Well, yeah, because when he left Black Sabbath, when he did his solo career, I'm sure he would have had, like the band member, like his support band helping him write lyrics, but ultimately they would be his.
Yeah, and let's think about it. You don't really need to read or write to be a lyricist, because if you can speak, that's where lyrics come from is speech. So and feelings. If you can feel, and if you can kind of analytically look at the world, you can come up with some lyrics, I think.
Yeah. And it's amazing. Like if you ever watched Ozzy talk, like you could tell that because of what he's had a rock star lifestyle, but when he like even towards the end, he can still sing.
Still hold a note.
He could still sing and hold a note. Like,
right.
But when you hear him talk, it's like, oh man, this guy, how is he coping? But it's like he tapped into that, part of his brain where he's like, I've still got it.
Yeah.
I may be stuttering when I talk and I may have Parkinson's, but I've still got it.
Yeah, maybe it's a different part of our brains that we use when we sing. Scientists, get in the chat, tell us.
Well, it's almost like, people who don't, like, who can't talk or speak English, but they can sing an English song.
Right, okay. So and
they sing it so well. Like a lot of Asian performers, like they can't speak a word of English, but they can cover an ABBA song like that, for example.
Right. Because, it is vowel sounds and it sounds really.
That's right.
And maybe it's coming from the musical part of the brain and I think the speech pathologists need to enter the chat about where it is in the brain and what you do with your mouth and your vocal cords to make those sounds. But yeah, I don't know if we're giving him enough credit. Like, I think you can, maybe not have a really big grasp of, the constructs of grammar and comprehend, or writing, but maybe your comprehension's okay, and your capacity to analyze the world and come up with words that fit your feeling. Like Geezer did in this track called Paranoid. Bass player Geezer, you've come up with a cracker, ripe for analysis. Should we get into it?
Let's get into it.
Okay. I mean,
who doesn't suffer from paranoia? Like at one point of your life, there's no one that's going to put their hand up. I've never suffered from being paranoid.
Yeah. I mean,
always.
Let's talk about paranoia. I mean, to begin with, I mean, it's this idea that, it's a very interesting idea that things are we have worry about things that we perceive are happening that might not be there.
Yeah.
So I think all of us have thought, we've walked past a conversation and we thought they're talking about me.
I think that's the most common, isn't it? Like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
did I just hear my name? Oh, are they talking about me? Oh, geez.
Right.
I think that's probably the most common form of being paranoid or having paranoia.
Right, feeling criticized and condemned and judged by our peers or other people. It's a really it's a really interesting thing. I think what our brains do with this pattern of thinking is like it gets into a suspicious mode, right? It gets suspicious about things and mistrustful in order to protect itself, right? If I'm mistrustful and I kind of think that people are out to harm or deceive or ridicule me, then I can sort of adjust myself and protect myself from it. So maybe I, won't engage in conversation, or maybe I I won't reveal things about myself that can be judged. It's it's like your brain sort of turning on the security alarm for everything.
I was going to say, is it like it's like a coat? It's like a putting up your walls or a barrier, but in a negative sense, like not in a good sense. It's like you're actually doing more harm to yourself by putting up your walls and barriers.
And we find that a lot of these mechanisms are maladaptive, right? So maladaptive means that it's trying to protect you. It's got really good intentions. Paranoia really wants to protect you. It really does. But, often it hurts you. So, the key features of paranoia are like suspiciousness and distrust, right? So, thinking that others have harmful intentions and, imagine thinking all the time like, oh, yeah, my co-workers are definitely plotting to get me fired. Can you imagine the internal anguish? So the idea of that thought
the anxiety,
is like,
just the anxiety behind it. Oof.
Yeah, the physiological symptoms of anxiety. Now, while we might think that, on the surface, thinking a thought like my co-workers are plotting to get me fired, it has a kind of a motivational quality to it. It kind of, the motivational quality is, well, I'll just do my job to the best of my ability and then they'll have nothing to judge me about. They'll have nothing to criticize me about,
Yeah.
So in a way, it's trying to motivate, it's trying to protect you, but it's torturous at the same time. So it keeps us hypervigilant. It keeps us kind of scanning the environment for threat. It's like making us, like creating this negativity bias, like getting us to look at this kind of worst case scenario every single time. And, it's over time we can feel really targeted and pursued by people. You
can alienate yourself. You can lose people, friendships, partners.
Yeah, that's right.
There's nothing they say is going to convince you.
That's right. So your reality testing becomes really off. So we call it reality testing, your ability to kind of survey the environment and ascertain what's real and what's not. Yep, you're right. There becomes relational problems, difficulty with trust and intimacy and, difficulty sort of maintaining relationships because your partner, getting jack of like saying, no, there are no listening devices in this house. Yeah, here, there's no listening devices. Okay.
I love it.
We've pulled out Chopper again.
We're pulled out. Well, no, they won't know from the... Okay, so we have to take a side step.
Okay,
They won't know from the last episode that, unfortunately...
Tell the people what happened, Drum Chucks.
Well, we will try and air it, but it's not possible.
I don't think so.
Someone
This guy who's got two thumbs. Is that what you say?
Yeah,
who's got two thumbs? This guy.
When we stopped recording, someone decided to shut their browser down as everything was uploading.
Guys,
so what happened?
It was a bloody good episode too.
It really was.
We did Dance Monkey by Tones and I. And, you know, you guys might think, oh, that's a pretty vapid song. There's not much to it. There was heaps to it. We recorded for over an hour.
We recorded it twice because the first time we had microphone issues.
I know.
So
it will never see the light of day, and I am going to hold firm. Not that I'm suspicious or I believe in woo, but maybe
you're not being paranoid, are you?
Maybe I am. It's all tying together. So maybe I'm being paranoid that Tones is litigious and she might have slapped a lawsuit on us for saying something wrong about her or about her song.
Her ears must have been burning and went, no, I'm gonna put a hex on these guys. This episode shall not become
That's
something.
right. So we tried twice and to record that one. And the first time, what happened, AJ?
Oh, I had microphone issues, so you can hear me, but it sounds like I'm 50 feet away. And
yeah. Sounds like us.
It's not to our it's not to our standard. We want to give you the best quality of vocals and sound.
Yeah, we do want to give you a bloody good product is what we want to give you. So, unfortunately, Tones and I, Dance Monkey is in the toilet. But during that episode, we talked about, for now, maybe we'll come back to it.
Maybe.
But we did talk about an infamous Australian outlaw called Chopper Read, who there was a movie made of his life and his infamy.
Biopic, yep.
A biopic starring Hollywood superstar Eric Bana as Chopper Read.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a scene where Chopper, played by Eric Bana, in his standover man persona or profession. That's what he was. He was a standover man, right? Yeah. He went to a foe. He went to the home of a foe called Neville Bartos,
who owed him money.
And he was calling in the debt. And Neville says to Chopper, "Cash here. There's no cash.
No cash."
So I can't remember what I said.
Oh, geez. So here, no.
What did I say?
Goodness.
I can't remember. Oh my God, I can't remember. We can't rewind the tape.
No.
Anyway, whatever.
It's slipped my mind. We've gone too deep that we've forgotten.
And we can't find our way
backtrack.
back. We can't find our way
backtrack.
back. It's all right. We'll just stay lost together, AJ.
Yeah.
It's fine. But, you know, we were talking about paranoia is what we were talking about. And we were talking about it becoming a problem and it affecting relationships. And, you know, it's...
Oh, no listening devices here.
No listening devices here.
It came back
here,
to me.
There's no listening devices. That's right. And that's how it's going to affect relationships is when one person in the relationship, if their reality testing is off, and you know the partner is kind of trying to always placate them and allay their fears, that can become tiresome for a partner. So, you know,
well, it's like a broken record. You can only say it so much before it just falls on deaf ears.
Deaf ears, correct.
Not deaf ears, deaf ears.
Deaf ears. That's right. So, you know, being paranoid is clinically significant if it does affect your relationships, if it's persistent, and if you can't reality test anymore, like you're not able to go, hey, hang on, why am I that important that someone would put listening devices in my home? I'm not that important. Because that's reality testing, is to think about what's the actual reality of the situation.
Yeah. Well, or in this song's instance, you know, finish with my woman because she couldn't help me with my mind. He's obviously thinking, well, she can't I'm breaking up with her because she can't fix me. But that's not her job to
That's
fix
not
him.
her job. That's not her job to fix
No.
him, you know. I think, and that's like a real like displacement defense mechanism. Like really what's happening is he's dumping that on his partner, but the real
Yeah.
issue is that his internal world is on fire. So he's making this displacement, you know, trying to get someone else to take the blame for his inner chaos or fix it, you know. So it's, you know, it's not her problem.
Nah.
To help him with his mind. We've all got
I'm
to
gonna
take care of
I'm
our
gonna
own
go back.
minds.
I'm going to go back to an interesting tidbit while we
Tell
talk
me.
about the first line of these lyrics.
Tell me.
So people actually thought that this song was a love song because of the first lines of the lyrics. You know, because it's very like, you know, that breakup, you know, finish with my woman because she couldn't help me with my mind. So people actually thought that this was not a heavy metal song. They actually thought it was a love
song, right?
Yeah.
Or a loss and longing song.
Yeah, well, it was often
Right.
mistaken to be a love song.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
not about
Okay.
actual paranoia.
Not about actual paranoia. Right. And then maybe, you know, I can see how they, you know, they thought it was like a, you know, a love, a longing, grief kind of
Yeah.
song. Because, you know,
Yeah.
the next line is people think I'm insane because I'm frowning all the time.
Yeah,
You know,
but do they?
well, do they? I mean, it's resting doom face, right? Like it
That's
could be,
it.
it could be, it really could be a major depressive disorder.
Yeah, that's it.
You know, or metalhead existentialism.
That's it.
That's why the frown. Why the frown? Oh, you know, just existentialism. Just wondering what it's all for.
That's it.
You know,
Why are you asking?
Yeah,
What's wrong?
why are you asking?
Why
Just
can't I frown? Is there
Right.
something wrong with my face?
just tormented by my own thoughts that I'm being pursued, criticized, and judged. You know.
Yeah, that's it. Nothing new.
Exactly. But if we're on the lyrics, I mean, the next line is all day long I think of things, but nothing seems to satisfy. I mean,
Ah.
I'm gonna jump in here. I don't know if this is actually necessarily about paranoia. I think this might be a little bit about ADHD actually.
okay.
So you
Well,
know,
but maybe
nothing
he's-
seems to,
I was going to say
Sorry.
maybe he's trying to find the answer, but the paranoia is not giving him the answer that like you'll never get paranoia. Being paranoid, you'll never get the
Never get the-
answer
Well,
that you want.
a classic symptom of ADHD is overthinking, trying to get the answer.
Yeah.
And, you know, ADHD is where we have a dopamine deficit in our brain, which means we never feel satisfied. We can't kind of reach that sort of natural state of like homeostasis, which is just kind of a calm, neutral sort of
Satisfied.
balance,
Yeah.
satisfied state. So I think, you know, this is kind of about Geezer being a little bit overstimulated and underfulfilled, trying to kind of, you know, that's what the ADHD brain does, is that it tries to stimulate itself so it can reach a level of satisfactory dopamine. And that's why, you know, there's kind of impulsivity features highly in ADHD, you know, acting impulsively to try to get that dopamine hit. So I'm not sure that Geezer was speaking specifically about paranoia in that line. I think there's a little bit of undiagnosed ADHD going on there with the...
I was also going to say maybe schizophrenia, because paranoia and schizophrenia go hand in hand.
a little bit of, yeah. I mean, and certainly the paranoia could be, you know, overthinking. Certainly, you know, overthinking.
Because when you have
thoughts to-
schizophrenia, you're there's voices in your head telling you things all day, but it's all
Yeah.
unrealistic things, and like
Yeah.
like it's not the answers that you want that you're going to get that satisfaction. Like, oh yeah, thanks for helping me out. Voices in my head. That's what I wanted to accomplish and achieve. It's all like unhelpful things.
Yes, unhelpful thoughts. And why do we have these unhelpful thoughts? You know, like what causes it? It's, sometimes it's like, attachment wounds. If we've had like very persecutory, critical and inconsistent caregivers developmentally, then what happens is that kind of growing up in that unsafe, unpredictable environment means that that's the lens that we see the world through. We start to see the rest of the world through that lens of that invalidating environment, which teaches the brain to expect harm even when it's not coming. Yeah. So I can't remember what my point was. Oh my God, we're circling the drain again. We're talking about what causes paranoia. Yes. So it does feature in psychosis spectrum disorders like schizophrenia and delusional disorder. It can become very fixed, and that is, when it becomes really fixed, it's really hard to shift, and it just is a feature of people's everyday life and functioning. But what also causes paranoia is some stimulants, so substances, some stimulants like meth and cocaine and even ADHD meds. Actually, there is stimulant induced psychosis, so we have to be very careful about who we prescribe stimulant medication to. If there is a vulnerability to delusions and or paranoia, then we need to just make sure that we are monitoring people taking stimulant medications.
Yeah.
So that's kind of some of the things that cause paranoia, and it is a feature of schizophrenia. Schizophrenia also has a lot of other features like what we call positive symptoms, which are things like perceptual changes, maybe seeing things or hearing voices, hearing and seeing things that aren't there. Alongside the paranoia. And the delusion, delusions are very strongly fixed ideas about things that are generally psychotic, and psychosis means that these are things that are outside of the realm of reality. Yeah. Like I was watching, I don't know if we might have talked about this in a different episode, but I was watching a documentary about the state of healthcare in Australia.
Okay.
And it was on the psych ward with a psychiatrist. He's a pretty well-known psychiatrist in the media. I can't remember his name. That's how well-known he is. His name's Mark something. Anyway, just, kind of thinking about the difference between paranoia and delusional disorder. One of the patients in this documentary had a delusional disorder and it was a somatic delusional disorder. It was like a delusion about his body where he was like, yeah, my arm's broken and you need to amputate it from the elbow. Okay. And no matter how many scans that the person was shown, they did not believe that the arm was not broken. So that's a strongly fixed delusion of something that's not real and not there. Yeah. Whereas paranoia is kind of a bit more about feeling pursued, expecting harm, feeling unsafe, feeling criticized, judged, scrutinized. And, I can see that Geezer, he had a few traits of that. In this song. Well, this song, he's kind of, showing us that, he's feeling a little bit paranoid. So how does ADHD factor into that? Well, one of the lyrics suggests ADHD, but and also ADHD in this next lyric, like, can you help me occupy my brain? And so that is that's that's an ADHD longing, is when we don't have enough dopamine. The brain needs external stimulation to create the
Yeah, right.
dopamine. And
Yep.
that's why we take the stimulant medication, so we don't have to rely on external sources, because the stimulant medication will stimulate the brain. Am I boring you yet?
No. I was going to jump in and say, was the psychiatrist Dr. Mark Cross?
That's him, Dr. Mark Cross. Look him up. Any of my my lovely psychologists, psychotherapists.
Was he the author of Mental State?
That guy? Yeah,
Yeah.
Mark Cross.
Oh.
Thanks for finding him. That was Dr. Mark. Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Also a British fellow, I think, an expat out in Australia. But yes, that was a very interesting documentary, if anyone can find it. I can't remember what it was called, but yes, you saw the range and spectrum of DSM diagnoses, including delusional disorder and some paranoia in that documentary. But yeah, it's all about like that early unpredictable environment and anticipating harm from everyone, really. That's paranoia. And
Now, is there healthy paranoia?
is there healthy well, wouldn't we call that something like critical thought, analytical thought, and skepticism?
Sure.
Well, okay, right. Like, this is healthy paranoia, right? This is healthy skepticism, right? Someone walks up to you on the street, right? And
Yeah.
they're like, hey, come and take a personality test. And you're like, okay.
I don't think I should.
Why would I do that? To what end? What is the purpose? Why would you give that away for free? What is the function of this?
Where's the catch?
What's the catch? That's
Yeah.
healthy skepticism, isn't it?
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
we
that's
all
true.
know that a free personality test on the street leads to being.
Well, they probably don't exist.
Well,
I was
no,
going
they
to say, have you ever been stopped by someone to do a free personality test?
Well, lots of people have, and maybe not so much anymore, but that was a strategy used by the Church of Scientology and other. They might come after us. Try and sue us, team. Try and sue us. But other kind of high control groups. Yeah, is that like it's the bait and switch. We'll offer you this free thing and we will offer you, a sense of community and a sense of belonging and we'll support you in life. But the rub is that we've got to control you. Yeah, everything. We'll feed you. We'll put a roof over your head. But you won't earn any money from all the free labour that we're about to extort from you.
You owe us.
So you owe us. So that's healthy skepticism to say that free personality test. I wouldn't say that that's paranoia, right?
No. That just means you got street smarts and you got your wits about you.
That's right. Yeah. It's really just about being kind of you're right, like observant and trying to ascertain people's motivations and how those motivations might harm you. Right.
Yeah.
So
I could just picture like the old cartoons, like the little angel of you and the little devil going, "Don't do it. No, do it. No, that's so bad. No, you should do it."
Right.
Like,
we all need a level of that to be able to stay alive, right?
That's
That's our survival system is to question things. When, people don't have a healthy skepticism and they're quite gullible is when they're really vulnerable to being taken advantage of. So there is a real difference between, like paranoia and healthy skepticism. So
there's no healthy paranoia.
Well, no, I think there's a tipping point, right? There's a tipping point where it becomes like maladaptive and starts to interfere with your functioning. You like your social functioning, your relational functioning, your general functioning. That's when we kind of, start to think, maybe this is a disorder. Maybe this
Alarm bells. Ding,
alarm
ding, ding,
bells.
ding, ding, ding.
Maybe this needs to be treated, so we can help people find that state of, homeostasis that we were talking about, that neutral, balanced state.
Or maybe
yeah.
they've listened to this song going, hold on, that sounds a lot like me.
Maybe.
Wait a minute.
And if it does, there are professionals who can help you. So you could seek the assistance of a mental health professional in your area.
That's it. And even if it is, well, good on you for choosing a good song and listening to it
Correct.
and relating to it, because there's who doesn't have some relationship to a song. They go, oh, that's a little bit me. Yeah, I can relate to that. Yeah, I've got a bit of that.
And I think that is really nice when we have our thoughts and feelings validated by music. And I think that's why someone like Taylor Swift is so popular, because there are hordes of young women who have gone through the same experiences that she has, and she's held a mirror up to those experiences. And all of those people, well, not women, but young men and women alike are like, yeah, me too. I experienced that. Yeah, so look, I could go on, but I think we've reached our limit. Hopefully that's been useful for the listeners out there. I think that there's, I think there's something to learn here if we're going to sort of wrap it up. I think that, if this song walked into my clinic, if this song was a patient, it might present with like, my girlfriend doesn't understand me. I can't feel joy. I keep I'm like a rat in a wheel. Nothing seems to satisfy me. And also I'm being followed, I think.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
So
and why do I feel the opposite that everyone else is feeling?
Right. So, treatment recommendations. I mean, we might do a bit of schema therapy. We might look at, people's mistrust and abuse modes, their internal schemas. Like, where did that come from? What does that mean? If there was a DSM diagnosis for this, I mean, I don't know what we'd call it. Like the paranoid disorder metal subtype.
That's right.
And I think some of the features of it might be, what did we say earlier? Resting doom face.
Resting doom face, yeah.
Resting doom face. Persistent belief that no one understands you. Persistent belief that you are being followed or scrutinized, criticized, judged. That you've got an urgent need for stimulation, that you're overthinking. And that you've got an inability to enjoy life because you're just a bit worried all the time.
That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think that's, the prognosis is that with good regular therapy, we could overcome this paranoia.
She'll be right. She'll be right.
She'll be right. With some good, might be long-term treatment, but in the end, she'll be right.
Yep. That's it.
Yeah.
Well, a legend gone. We have to say it a legend. Another one bites the dust, in the words of Queen.
That's right. Sayonara, Ozzy. Thanks for the memories. Thanks for the medal. And thanks for the memories and the medal, Ozzy. R.I.P. May you rest in peace.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's us for another episode of Songs on the Couch.
Hold on, we have to say goodbye in our resting doom face.
Okay. I'll see you later, AJ.
Goodbye, Mo.
See ya.
Until next time.
Bye-bye.
Peace.
See ya.
Thanks for tuning in to Songs on the Couch. We hope you enjoyed putting today's song under the microscope with us.
And hey, the conversation doesn't have to end here. Join us over on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Just search Songs on the Couch, where we're sharing behind-the-scene clips, more fun music insights, and of course, chatting with you all.
And if you're an artist, musician, psychologist, counsellor, psychotherapist, or know someone who'd love to sit on the couch with us, have your management reach out. We'd love to hear from you at hello@songsonthecouch.com.
Follow us, subscribe, and let's keep rocking out together. Catch you next time on Songs on the Couch.